For a ship that floats safely, it is required to be in a state of stable equilibrium. The following media illustrates the factors affecting the equilibrium. When the ship is in unstable equilibrium, it continues to heel when inclining to a small angle of heel by an external force. When the G goes above the M, the ship gets a negative GM as shown. In this case, the ship is unstable. When the ship is in neutral equilibrium, it will tend to remain at an angle when inclining to a small angle of heel by an external force. When the G and M coincide, the values of Gm, Gz, and the moment of statistical stability are 0. When the ship is in stable equilibrium, it will tend to return to the initial position when it is inclined to a small angle of heel by an external force. When G is below M, the Gm is positive, the Gz is positive, and the ship has a positive moment of statistical stability. In other words, a positive righting moment. The moment of statistical stability is the product of the displacement and the righting lever. From the diagram, Gz is the product of metacentric height and sine angle of heel. By taking precautions to minimize the virtual loss of Gm, you will be able to maintain the stability of the ship. The general precautions to ensure the stability of the ship are: plan stowage in such a way that heavy cargo is stowed in the lower holds. Ensure the number of slack tanks is kept to a minimum during the passage. Keeping small tanks slack and the big tanks either full or empty if there are different types of tanks. Subdividing a tank reduces its free surface correction, FSC, as per following formula. FSC of divided tank equals 1 divided by n squared times FSC of undivided tank, where n equals the number of divisions into which the tank is divided by equally spaced longitudinal partitions. Thus, dividing a tank helps in minimizing the loss of Gm. When this Gm is a large positive value, the ship is called a stiff ship, whereas when the Gm is a small positive value, the ship is called a tender vessel. A tender ship has a large angle and period of roll, while stiff vessels have a small angle and period of roll.